Jai Hind students. So today we are going to start another lecture in the complex lecture series on IoT. So this is a new subject introduced in AKTU with code BEC051, and today we are going to start with a very we can say a very trending topic which is required for each and every student in today's scenario, and its knowledge should be there with every student. So the topic, or the we can say the lecture today, is about Arduino, the Arduino board. Introduction, the key components of Arduino board, and types of Arduino pins. So whenever you go for your final year projects, whether you belong to any branch, it is very important to understand the basics of Arduino board. What is an Arduino board? What are its key components? How the pins are arranged on its board? And what are the benefits, or we can say the advantages of Arduino board? So it is an open source electronics platform. Open source means it is available online, and the software part of it, Arduino IDE, which is called Integrated Development Environment. You can download it for free from the internet, and it is based upon easy to use hardware and software. So as you can see, when we talk about Arduino board, using an Arduino board in projects, there are two different things. One is the hardware. The hardware is the Arduino board itself, okay, and the second thing is the software part. The software part is called Arduino IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, and with the help of that software on your PC, you can upload different programs on your Arduino board, just like we used to burn the CDs earlier. In the same fashion, you will attach your Arduino board with your PC with the help of a USB connector, and you will burn the desired code on the microcontroller or on the Arduino board which you have attached with your PC, and then you can use that Arduino board in a desired manner in your desired application which you are building. So two parts are there. Open source, first of all, it is an open source platform. Secondly, we have two parts associated with it. First is the hardware part, that is the Arduino board itself, and the second one is the software part, that is Arduino IDE platform. It is designed to make the process of using electronics in various applications more accessible. So whenever you go for designing a very small application of electronics, for example, just we can take the example of lighting an LED, or if you want to rotate a motor, or if you want to let's say take temperature and humidity readings from the surroundings by using DHT11 sensor that is used to measure temperature and humidity. So whatever small project you want to build, you will require Arduino, the microcontroller, you can say the brain of that entire system. So the Arduino platform consists of both a physical programmable circuit board, which we call a microcontroller, and a software or IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Two parts are there associated with it. First is a physical hardware board which you can touch, you can feel, you can connect that to your PC using a USB connector, and the second one is the software part, Arduino IDE, Integrated Development Environment. That IDE, it runs on your computer to write and upload code to the physical board. So we have already discussed this part, that on the IDE you will build a code as per your desire, as per your application requirements, and you will burn that code on the on the hardware part, just like we used to burn the CDs. So when we talk about the appearance, this is your Arduino board. It looks like this. You can purchase it from any shopping site. Online it is available, on the shops which where we have project instruments it is available. So you can easily find this Arduino Uno board in the market. So the basic components which I can highlight on this board is, first is the USB connection. This is the port for the USB connection. Through it you can connect it to your PC or whatever system you want to. Then on the side of it we have a reset button. This is a reset button. It is just like the power on reset for any kind of device, and when you reset, will press this reset button, all the data will be terminated and the microcontroller will move to 0 values. Then here we have DC input supply, 7 to 12 volts. So basically your Arduino board is powered on from the power of your PC or your laptop with which you are attaching your Arduino board. But there are applications in which we require some more power. For example, rotating a motor. If you want to rotate a motor by using an Arduino board, then you require some more power. So for that purpose, an external battery can be connected here, and the range is 7 to 12 volts. Next we let us check this. This is a IC. This is a structure appearing like an IC, and this is IC of microcontroller. Microcontroller, it is the brain of this entire system, the processor of this entire system, and the microcontroller which is used here is Atmega 328 microcontroller. Okay, so microcontroller is there, USB connection is there, DC input supply is there, reset button is there. Now coming to the input output ports, here we have some input output pins. So these all are the analog pins ranging from A0, I am writing here analog pins. These are the analog pins ranging from A0 to A5. So there are some sensors which measure the value in analog terms. For example, in terms of voltage, in terms of current, okay, in some terms of some wave. So there are some sensors which are measuring the signals, which are measuring the values, the parameters of the surroundings in terms of analog signals. So in that case, we need analog pins, and these analog pins, they have a inbuilt ADC, that is A to D converter, analog to digital converter inbuilt. It is present on the Arduino board, which can convert these analog signals to digital values. So these are the analog pins A0 to A5. Then we have some digital pins ranging from D0 to D13. Here we have the digital pins. These all are the digital pins. D0 to D13. These are digital pins, and analog pins are ranging from A0 to A5. Okay, so the sensors which produce digital data in digital form, they can be connected to here, and these pins are serving the purpose of both input and output. These are called input/output pins. You can use these pins either as input. For example, if you attach a sensor, the sensor will provide the reading to the microcontroller. So it is an input device. Sensor is an input device in this case. So you can add an input device to these pins, or you can connect an output device to these pins. Output device ka example kya hoga? For example, microcontroller has processed some data and it wants to send that data to outward. For example, to an LED. Glowing an LED is a sign of an output. LCD screen may be connected to it. You want to send some output through it. Or motor, if you have connected a motor to it, you want to rotate the motor upon some action when some actionable insights are achieved. So that is a part of output. So input as well as output, both can be connected to these analog and digital pins. Okay, then we have some special purpose pins which are used for interfacing of Arduino. We have SCL, SDA. These are the serial interfacing pins. Then we have power pins here, ground and VIN. We have two types of powers, 5 volt and 3.3 volt pins are here. So this is the entire board architecture for your Arduino, and it looks like this. Now let us move on to the key components of your Arduino board. As I already mentioned, the most important component or the brain or the processor of this entire system is the microcontroller, and the microcontroller used in the Arduino Uno board is Atmega 328. Okay, it is the heart of every Arduino board in a microcontroller, which is simple computer that can be programmed to perform specific tasks. Okay, so it is just like the CPU of your computer, which can process the different programs, which can process the different tasks. Then input and output pins. Input output pins we have discussed. There are some analog pins, there are some digital pins on the board. Okay, there are some special purpose pins which are used for interfacing. There are PWM pins, power pulse width modulation pins. We'll discuss in this lecture only in later half. And there are power pins, ground pins. Okay, so different input output pins are there. These pins are used to interface with sensors, actuators, LEDs and other components. Okay, there are both digital and analog kind of pins on the board. Then we have power supply, another important component. Arduino boards can be powered by the USB from computer or through an external power source. So when we talk about power supply, we have two options, as I already told you in this slide. First of all, there is a USB connection. You can connect your Arduino board through this USB connection to your PC, and it will get the necessary power to turn on the Arduino board. Okay. Then I told you there is another power supply present, which is 7 to 12 volt battery can be attached to it. This is for the applications requiring more power. Then we have the USB interface. USB interface we have already checked. It allows the board to be connected to a computer for uploading the code and for communication. Okay. Then reset button. Reset button, I already told you, just in side of your USB connection pin, there is a reset button, and by using this reset button, it will reset the microcontroller without the need to unplug the power. So these are the key components of your Arduino board. Then what are the common Arduino boards which are available in the market? First is the Arduino Uno. This is the hero product which is very easily available in the market, one of the most popular boards, and it is ideal for beginners to begin with small projects. You can easily purchase this board from the market and you can start building your simple projects using Arduino. So you can start learning the concept of embedded systems. Then we have Arduino Mega. It has more input-output pins and memory, suitable for larger projects. For some, if you want to go for some larger projects after that, you can switch to Arduino Mega. Arduino Nano is there. It is a compact version of Uno with a similar functionality. So these are the various versions of Arduino boards which are available in the market, and as per your need, you can choose among them depending upon your project requirements. But when you are a beginner for embedded systems and you want to build some small projects, you want to start learning the technology, then you should go with Arduino Uno first. What are the features of Arduino? First of all, it is an open source hardware. It is easily available in the market. Okay, hardware you can buy, you can purchase the boards, and for the software part, you can download the IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment software. Arduino schematics and designs are available for free, allowing the users to modify and create their own versions. It is a user-friendly software, very easy to learn. Very easy to learn. This is one of the things which you can try on your own, and you will find it so much interesting that once you start with it, you will love to learn some more projects regarding that. It is a simple and easy to use, making programming accessible even for beginners. The programming in Arduino IDE is some modified version of C++. Cross-platform. Cross-platform means Arduino IDE is compatible with Windows, Mac OS and Linux with different versions. Active community. So there is an online community which is present, and it has a large active user community. Tutorials are there, and you can post your queries over there. If you are going through some project, you are building some project and you stuck somewhere, you can post your queries there, and that community can help you find the solutions, the appropriate solutions to your problems. Then Arduino programming. Arduino program, they use a simplified version of C++. Okay, when you just install the Arduino IDE from your on your laptop, you will see there will be a screen appearing to write the code, editing screen, editor. Okay, then you can write your code in the simplified version of C++. It provides, Arduino IDE provides a set of standard libraries that make it easier to interface with board and its components. The programs for Arduino are known as sketches. Okay, this is a point to remember. The programs for Arduino are called, written in IDE are called sketches. Applications of Arduino. So Arduino board can be used in a wide range of projects, and the application area is very wide, ranging from home automation to robotics, then Internet of Things small applications, and wearable electronics. So basically, it depends upon, the application area is very wide, and it depends upon your thinking, your creativity, your innovativeness. So you can innovate a product, a small application using Arduino boards. Arduino's flexibility, simplicity and open source nature make it an excellent platform for beginners and professionals alike. So Arduino board we have checked already. Now let us have some introduction about the Arduino environment. Open source platform, we have already studied about it. Designed to make electronics and programming accessible to everyone. It combines hardware, that is the Arduino boards, and the software, that is Arduino IDE, to create a seamless system for developing a wide range of interactive projects. Key components of the Arduino environment. Now we are talking about the Arduino environment. First we talked about the Arduino boards, the key components of your Arduino board only, okay, the hardware part only. Now we are talking about the entire environment. So it involves the hardware part also and as well as the software part also. So boards we have already studied. There are various hardware boards. The popular ones are Arduino Uno, Mega, Nano, Leonardo, and there can be a number of boards. These boards are loaded with a number of things, including your microcontroller at Mega 328. Then we have USB connection, we have reset buttons over it, we have digital pins, input output pins, analog pins, okay, power buttons, etc. Then Arduino IDE. IDE, it is integrated development environment. It is what it is. It is a software which is used to write, compile and upload the code, and the codes of Arduino are called sketches on the Arduino board. Okay, so it provides simple interface for coding in C++ like syntax. It will have an editor, compiler and a serial monitor. These are the three very important components of your IDE. Once you install the IDE on your laptops, on your PC, so when you will open it, it will show a screen that will have three different portions: editor, compiler and serial monitor. So editor, what is editor? The IDE includes a basic text editor where you can write and edit your code. Okay, over the editor screen you can easily write your code, edit your code. Compiler will compile your code and convert it into a format that can be uploaded to microcontroller on the Arduino board. And then we have a serial monitor. What is a serial monitor? Just like the role of a monitor, whose role is to watch upon the things. So suppose if you are connecting a temperature and humidity control sensor from your Arduino IDE, you would like to measure the values of temperature and humidity. So where these values will appear? So the answer is serial monitor. Serial monitor is a screen from where you can check your outputs. It allows you to view the data sent from your Arduino board to your computer via USB. Then installing the Arduino IDE, you can simply download the IDE software from Arduino's official website, and it is compatible to various versions like Windows, Mac OS and Linux. Open IDE and you are ready to write your first program. Sketches, as we have already discussed, sketches kisko kehte hain? It is the programs, the codes which we write in Arduino IDE. These are called sketches. A sketch is what Arduino calls a program or a code. Sketches are written in the Arduino IDE to follow a simple structure, and there are at least 2 functions in every sketch, that is in every program. First is a setup function and then we have a loop function. Setup function, it runs once when the board is powered up or reset, and it is used to initialize the variables, the pin modes and the start libraries. Loop, it repeats continuously after the setup and contains the main logic of the program. Once if you are a beginner for Arduino and if you install the Arduino IDE, you can open the examples there and you can learn the coding from there also. There are some basic examples, for example, for lighting an LED and for measuring temperature, humidity. There are some basic examples you can start learning from there also. Then we have libraries. What are libraries? Libraries are actually pre-written codes, a collection of pre-written codes that add functionality to your sketches. For example, libraries can help you to interface with sensors, control motors, or to communicate via Bluetooth. So for every kind of different setup, there are a set of pre-written codes which we called as libraries. To use a library, you can install it from the library manager in Arduino IDE. Okay, every Arduino IDE comes with a library manager. You can install the IDE for it. Once installed the library, you can include that library in your sketch with #include directive. Okay. For example, if you are using DHT22 sensor, this DHT22 sensor is used for measuring temperature and humidity of the environment. So if you want to use this sensor in your program, you have to upload first of all the libraries of DHT22. You have downloaded the libraries associated with DHT22, then you have to include that library in your program by using #include. Serial communication. Serial communication, Arduino boards basically communicate with computer or devices using serial monitor. So serial monitor is a small screen below it, and if you want to use the serial monitor, that is, if you want to view, if you want to visualize the data from temperature and humidity sensors which you have placed in your project, you can use serial monitor. To start the serial monitor, we use this command, serial.begin 9600, and it initializes the serial communication at 9600 baud rate. In bracket, we have written 9600. This 9600 stands for the baud rate, which is the symbol rate. Next, serial.print and serial.println. This sends the data to the serial monitor. So these are some basic commands which can be used to start the serial monitor, and you can visualize your data inputs, your data collected from some sensor over the serial monitor. Uploading your code. So after you have complete with writing your code, you have to compile your sketch in IDE, and the code can be uploaded. That code can be uploaded to your Arduino board using the USB connection. For that, you have to select your Arduino board model and connect the port from the tools menu. Then click the upload button and the code will be transferred onto the board. So in the presentation, I have also included the basic steps for the beginners, those who want to learn the Arduino from the sketch, from how you can purchase it, how you can install the IDE, how you can connect both the hardware and software, how you can upload the code to it. Sensors and actuators, they are also a part of Arduino IDE environment. So Arduino allows you to connect to a wide range of sensors like temperature, motion, light, etc. and actuators. Actuators includes motors, LED, buzzers to build interactive projects. There are input-output pins on the Arduino board which can be configured either as input or output to interact with these components. Okay, so this we have already discussed. There are some sensors. Sensors are the devices which collect the data, measure the parameter from the environment and send it to the Arduino board. So these are the input devices. Okay, and motor, LED, all these are actuators. These are the output devices because they are performing some control action. Arduino is sending some data to it and they are taking an actionable insight. So both the input and output devices can be connected to your Arduino board through input-output pins. At last, we will study some of the the types of Arduino pins. There are digital pins. The digital pins have been labeled as D0 to D13 on the Arduino Uno. ये हमने discuss किया था starting में. These digital pins can be used either as input or output to read or write the signals. वोल्टेज पे कौन सी वोल्टेज पे ऑपरेट करते हैं? These pins operate at 5 volts. For 5 volts for boards like Uno and 3.3 volts for board like Arduino Duo. यूसेज क्या है? अगर आप इनको इनपुट मोड की तरह यूज कर रहे हो, सो द Arduino will detect if a pin is received a high or low signal. और अगर आप इसे आउटपुट मोड में यूज कर रहे हो, so it drives the pin high for 5 volt and low for 0 volt. Then we have analog pins. Analog pins are labeled as A0 to A5 on the Arduino Uno board. These pins are used to read the analog signals and convert them to digital values using the A to D converter which is inbuilt on the Arduino board. Okay, so at the beginning of this lecture only, when we were discussing the diagram in the second or third slide, I told you there are two major categories of pins, analog and digital. The analog pins are A0 to A5 and they are used to measure the analog signals and they automatically convert them to digital by using the inbuilt ADC attached to the Arduino Uno board. The ADC on the Arduino Uno has a resolution of 10 bits, which means the input voltage represents a value between 0 to 1023. There is a built-in ADC on the Uno board. Voltage range क्या होगी? The voltage range for analog pins is 0 to 5 volt. Usage. These analog pins will be used with sensors that output a range of voltages. Okay. So there are a number of sensors that have values that measure the values in terms of analog signals. So your analog pins will be used in that case. Then we have PWM pins. PWM stands for pulse width modulation. So there are some pins which have been marked with this kind of symbol, and these are pin number 3, 5, 6, 9, 10 and 11. Okay, so these pins support pulse width modulation, allowing you to simulate analog output by rapidly switching the pin on and off. Particularly use case क्या होता है इसका? It is useful for controlling the brightness of LEDs or the speed of motors. So there are some applications in which you want the application not to just turn on and off in a blink of an eye. Okay, for example, controlling the brightness of LED. So you want to dim it, you want to glow it fast, you want to slow it down. So there are variations in that. Okay, like speed of a motor, you want to start the motor slowly, glowly, you have to want to increase the speed. For those cases, pulse width modulation will be used. To output a PWM signal, analog write function is used, and where the values ranges from 0 to 255. Then we have power pins. Power pins, मैंने आपको बताए थे बोर्ड के ऊपर कहाँ situated हैं. These power pins, they have VIN pin. They used to supply voltage to Arduino from external source, और इसकी range थी 7 to 12 volts. 5 volts का input pin है यहाँ पे. It provides 5 volt regulated output. Then we have 3.3 volt pin, and then we have ground pins. So all these pins we have already checked on the board of Arduino. These all are the category of power pins. Special function pins. Then there are some special function pins like analog reference. This pin is used to set the reference voltage for analog pins. Then we have a reset pin. On bringing this pin low, it will reset the Arduino, restarting the program from beginning. Serial communication pins. Then we have serial communication pins. It includes transmit and receive pins for serial communication, for serial transmission and serial reception of data. These pins are connected to the USB to serial converter. So this is all about the pins of Arduino, what different type of pins in Arduino we have. So I hope after listening to this lecture, you will be able or you will be interested in buying an Arduino for yourself or an Arduino Uno board, installing Arduino IDE on your systems, and begin working on small projects that connect your Arduino, your sensors, your actuators, and small applications can be derived from that. Thank you, students.